Hello, I'm Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper. Good morning. Thank you so much for being with me this morning. I'm excited definitely about being with you. Thank you so much. Your continual emails are just blowing my mind. And your comments, thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I am so elated that this channel is a blessing to you, and I pray that it will continue to be a blessing to you. God has really blessed us here, and the good reports that are coming out from these different programs of you being healed. Some of you have escaped the abusive relationship. Some of you have found wisdom in courts, divorces, marriages. You are more discriminative of what you're connecting with. And so I am excited about that. Any way that I can assist, and experience is very powerful because we know what you're going through. We know what you're experiencing. We know what you feel, and we know there's victory after narcissism, that you can live your greatest life ever, that you can increase who you are. You can increase your benefits, that life doesn't stop with torment from a relationship, from a person with NPD. Narcissism is not the end of a thing. It's the end of your torment, but it's the beginning of your life. So thank you so much. The question of today is, I'm losing myself. I no longer recognize who I am. So today we are calling this narcissistic editing. Narcissistic editing, personality editing. Editor is very important because it's a powerful position. The editor gets to choose what actually is going to be in the press, what is going to be processed. The editor goes through all information to make sure it lines up with what is going to sell, and that the proper English and punctuation is there. Make sure that it makes sense, and that all of the paragraphs connects, that it's going to compel the reader to keep reading. Where the narcissist is like the editor, they slowly change your personality. Your personality is who you are. It's what you become, with all the facets, not only what you've been through, but your DNA traits. And when you have strands of DNA traits that are coming from your genealogy, you're starting to manifest that. For instance, they would say, your grandmother was a deep thinker and you are a deep thinker, but your mom, she's very shallow thinking. Your dad, but your grandmother, there's things that can pass through systems from the generation before. It never have to be just the current generation. That's why you have your genes. Your genes carry the genes of your legacy, and it brings it up to date. And the up to date is the more frequent birth, the more frequent release. And that's what the narcissist does. It goes in your DNA strand of your mind. It goes in your DNA strand of your memory, of all the things that are value to you. The narcissist is very interested in. If you're going to dominate someone, you need to dominate them with knowledge. So you get to know who they are. You get as much information out of them as possible. You get to know how they succeed, what they're planning to do. Because if you're going to control a life, you got to know the cycle, the system, the operation, the direction of their life. Then you become more credible. You become more effective. And the narcissist is very effective, very patient, very long suffering, very giving in the information they extract from you, because they're going to use it, and they need to empower themselves. When you don't have love, when you don't have caring, when you don't have empathy, you would be amazed how tremendous and in-depth your research has to be when you're dealing with a life of another person. That's why narcissists, they're so intense. The relationship is intense. There's no such thing as a shallow narcissist. What you think may be shallow to them is very in-depth to them. Even when you're dealing with your lower narcissists who have a definite problem connecting. They either connect or they are obsessed. And when they are obsessive in their behavior, that's because you are fuel. And when you are fueled, narcissists are very protective over their fuel gates. They are very protective over their fuel line. They don't want anything coming in ciphering their fuel. It belongs strictly to them. That's why when a person decides to cheat on the narcissist and the narcissist find out, even though they are cheaters themselves, not faithful themselves, you are talking about torture at a high level. Turn that fire up 7 times hotter, because a narcissist feel no one is equal to them and never should be compared to them. So their specimen, their fuel, their supplies should not be able to go out to even desire. Narcissists believe you don't even desire another person because they are furious when anything intrude upon their supply. Even though they're not going to be faithful, they want you faithful. They always require a standard that they themselves cannot carry out. And so the narcissist seeks to change you. He wants to be the editor. He needs the script already written. They are not going to originate the script. They're going to pervert the script. It's too much time to rewrite your script. That's why the narcissists believe in the law of illegal transference. Because everything that exists, when you transference, you're transferring things that already exist. You're not originating, you're not creating. The narcissist is mirrored so much, even business matters. They are great, especially the cerebral narcissist, who is an advocate reader, an advocate investigator, an advocate researcher. Now, if you take a cerebral narcissist and they do that to their career, they do that to their business, you can imagine what they'll do to a life. They will go into their life like a researcher, and they go into research mode. That the pathology of your life, they're interested in it. They're interested in every avenue concerning you because they master forum. The cerebral treats you like a business forum. They make sure they know all of the dynamics, all of the demographics. They make sure they know all of the differentials about you so they can master their possession of you, because when they master the possession of you, you will go through a personality distortion. You will go through a personality change. There's no such thing as a person being with a narcissist on a long-term basis and they keep who they are. You are not with a narcissist if you do. A narcissist will not take second place. You have narcissists, especially the mid-grade narcissists, which tend to go to pity, pouting, sorrow, and in order to get the emotion. And they're not, some mid-grade narcissists are not as aggressive as the Lord. The Lord narcissists usually can be a very overt because they're violent. They're violent. The Lord narcissists will kill. All of them can, but the Lord narcissists present themselves, and they present themselves in a very physical manner, even though all of them are very vocal, because their voice is their power. Their voice is their tool, and they use their brain as an instrument of conquering your personality. They want you change. What got them there is not what's going to keep them there. And what got you there is not what's going to keep you there, because they get you because of the innocence you can feel. They want all of that. Your success, they want all of that. But in the interim of things, you will start changing. You will start manifesting out of being trauma bonded, out of being gaslighted, out of being tortured, out of being misused, out of doubt and mistrust, out of knowing that he's cheating and they never admit it and you see it, but they have word salad you and gaslighted you so until you are totally confused with what truth is. You no longer know what is truth. You are now tampering with what is a reality and what is not a reality, because the editor is on the scene. He's changing the scripts. He's changing the notes. He's changing the punctuation. It should be a comma. He puts a period. It should be a period. He puts a comma. It should be comma. He put an exclamation mark. Then he put semicolons. Then he put colons. Then he put a dash through a sentence. He removed remove the sentences, extract the sentences. So who you are is constantly changing. And you know that happened when your parents, your friends, or somebody or your colleagues are saying, who are you? I don't know who you are anymore. You are changing. You are being deleted. You are being edited. And they are going to tell you the final forum that they're going to release as the prophet forum. And it would never be for your benefit. It would never, ever be for your benefit. The narcissist does not know how to cater to your benefit. The narcissist could care less about your benefit. And then sometimes I think we get people with narcissistic traits, because you got to remember, narcissism is NPD. That's a personality disorder, an unchangeable trait. You have to change the personality in order to change the narcissist. Now, I believe in the power of God. I believe the power of God can come in and do anything, regardless of what professionals say. It's my personal belief, and it's my personal belief. You could take it or leave it. It is on to your discretion. I believe that I serve a God that can do anything. I believe in the realm of the impossible. I believe the things that are unchangeable can be changeable. I believe that when people give up, that's the beginning for a lot of us. I believe when you are crushed to a pulp and you cannot give up, that is your moment to rise up. I believe when you went to the fight zone and all of your fight out of you, another heartbeat come and the fight arise in you. I believe that. Those are my personal beliefs. And I believe life can begin after narcissism. I believe that you can get up. I don't believe that you can be traumatized and your trauma can be a permanent stigma. I believe the narcissist can cause brain damage, a physical brain damage where you can pick it up on an MRI. Staying with a narcissist is devastating, deadly, and can be fatal. When you stay with a narcissist, you stand with a narcissist because of your dynamics of love. They don't know love. And so what gets us is when we are addicted to an unreality. They have edited the script. What you are seeing is not the original manuscript. The original manuscript has been altered. If you notice, even from the love bombing, everything they told you now has changed. None of it is a reality to you, not even you to them. And so it's not real. You're floating instead of walking. You're foggy instead of thinking. Clarity has went out of the window. Psychology, oh my God, they become the psychologist and you become the client. Everything goes over to them. Financially, you don't know what you're doing. Spiritually, you are a hypocrite. I mean, as a woman, they say you're the worst woman. As a man, they say that your manhood, you've been demasculated. Come on here. Everything is evil. You stay under that. And that regiment keep resounding and going on in your mind. That's when the narcissists get into word salad and you say something, they say something, and they didn't say that. I didn't say that. You say, you just said that. I got it on tape. Boom. You play the tape. They hear themselves. They say, I didn't say that. You made that up. How can you make up a tape? I got you on tape. You said that. They said, I didn't say that. That is not my voice. That's you pretending. You went and you edited through some computer voice masking. They will say anything until you are unsure of who you are. You look in the mirror, you can't see you anymore. The image of who you were has disappeared. You start believing the lie. You start believing the fake. You start believing what they say because you are questioning whether you are right and whether you are wrong and they are right. You are. The editor, the narcissist is a professional editor, and they use time, they use consistency, they use precision, they use mastery, they use words, they use imagery, they collide imagery, they collide thoughts, they collide words. None of their words is stable. They change within an hour. You said that one day here, one day. No, they can change in an hour. Bipolar moments, baby. That's what you're getting used to. Those bipolar moments. Because you never, ever, ever know what they would do. So do you ever know your narc? No. Because if they're triangling, they're going to bring you somebody else. They're going to bring somebody else to the table. They're going to bring their ideology to the table because you got to remember, most narcissists, when they look at supply, they look in the realm of perfection for the beginning, and then the beginning stop. It's no longer a beginning. Now check this out. There are editors when you get a programming editor, that the software is what you program. You program the software. The software has the program in it. You put the software in the machine, the computer, or you download it into the computer, and the software would dictate the programming, what type of programming is on their software. And if you notice, the writer that matriculates that software, it has a coding system, and that code is recognized by the originators. It is recognized by the handlers. Now, the person who gets the software for the program recognize the program, but they don't recognize the coding. The narcissist downloads the program, but the narcissist also recognize the software he want to use based on the specimen he have. So he get the type personality you are, and he get that software so he can program into that software who you are. Then he's going to download it because he has the code, and the code is his precision. When to start devaluing you, when to lie on you, when to leave you. The narcissist will leave you for a supply, but he makes sure that you are intact, because when the narcissist live with you or is married to you and you are primary source, and the narcissist is not willing to give you up, he's going to go and triangulate. He's going to go get other supply, because he got intimate supply. He got colleagues that he doesn't sleep with. Then he have the supply on the shelf that he pour every now and then. Then he got the supply that he take his rage out on. They are one night stands. I mean, it's malicious. And then he got them where he love bombed them for a week, but he's not planning to go past a week. He ain't, or she's not even planning to go come by. They need to keep themselves built up, because when you're dealing with a primary supply, you're dealing with a rotation cycle. You're dealing with a constant cycle. You're hitting them, and then some supply start fighting back. They start causing narcissistic injury. They got to pull that docket, and they got to re-edit that docket, because the stronger you get and the more fight you got, they got to break down your fight. And what they do, they come in, and love bombing is throughout the cycle, baby, because they know you ain't gonna keep taking torment. They got to reconvince you that I love you. You are my only baby. Hey, you are the only one I'm living for. And because you're already addicted, boom, you take another hit of that. There you go. You ready for it. You ready for it all over again. The fog is there, so you're not thinking properly. That's why people look at you and say, how in the world she keep taking that? She keep taking that because her brain is fog. And based on the concentration of the fog, when you go in concentrated fog, you can hardly see in front of you. And the reason you see the cars in front of you, that's why they want your lights on. So you can see the lights, because you can't see the vehicle. So you can see it. And what do you see? The narcissists become your concentration. The narcissists become your background. The narcissists become your focal point. They become the main view on your canvas. So you can only see as far as the fog allows you to see. And that's what the narcissists do. They want to fog your brain up until you can't see it far off. Because you see far off, you see the mask off, you see them. But when the fog is concentrated and you're working to get through concentrated fog, you're driving very slow because you can't see. There's no visibility. So the editor takes away your visibility. He affects how you see. He don't want you to see far. He needs everything close up, because that's how you live. You live day to day. You can't see a week because they change so much. You don't even know what you're going to get through the day. And so you know not to live beyond the day. And so you are trained by the editor what to display. Your book is different than what you originally wrote. It's no longer your book. It's the narcissist's book. Even if it has your name on it. None of the contents have who you are on that. None of the contents display who you are. None of the contents have your value anymore. You are being edited. So the narcissist edits your life. He changed your punctuation. Now your expressions are different. You're walking around not knowing what to do. You're on edge. Your adrenaline is always working. Your the serotonin in your body is off the charts because you never know when you're gonna have to run. You never know when you're gonna have to defend yourself. And even if you tape yourself, it doesn't work. You saw him cheat, he lies, and you are in a non-reality, and you are saying, "Why am I here?" Maybe because you got children. That's why you're there, and you're married. That's why you're there because you cannot kidnap those children. They are still his. And you must use wisdom when you're dealing with a narcissist and the court system. So you have been edited. Can you ever find your files again? Can you ever find the original docket again? You can, but not with the narcissist. Because no matter how you change the script, the editor comes in. Nothing get past the editor. So what you have to do to really change is to change everything. Eventually, scenery, lifestyle, location. Because until then, what you're receiving is what you'll get. And when you get tired of getting it, you have to think different. Strategy is powerful. Thinking is powerful. Always think. Build your mind. Even with the fog, train your mind. If he can train your mind, so can you. Train your mind to read. Read, read, read. Read when you don't want to read. Read when you don't feel like reading. Read when you can't read. Read it anyway. And then repeat some of the things that you read. And Christians repeat Bible verses. Those of you who are not Christian, get a book, get encouragement. Quote the strengths of those. Bring out those different principles and quote them and quote them and quote them. Christian pray. Prayer is powerful. He don't want me to pray. He don't have to hear you to pray. Hannah had Samuel and she whispered a prayer. You don't have to pray out loud. Teach yourself how to pray, but release those words into the atmosphere. Take a bathroom break, honey. When you take a bathroom break, that's your prayer room. Go into your prayer room and pray. Change your culture first. Change your mind, and your mind will help you change your culture. Your culture is what is being integrated in you and around you, where you succumb and soon accept that. The editor is bringing the wrong kind of acceptance, the wrong kind of agreement. Rewrite your script. Read every day. Read every day. Read every day. Read. Read, 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 read. I sound like a broken record. Boom. Read, 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 read. Build your mind, because that's what they're trying to break down. They're trying to break your mind down. The editor, just the narcissist, is after your mind. When he edits the script, read, read, read. Every book that is written can be rewritten. And that's why they give you the upgraded version of the version you read yesterday. Why? Because you can rewrite the script. But you got to do something with your mind, because this Trojan horse is after your mind. Editing is prohibited in your mind. When you write the book and it has your experience, it has your life, you must choose the right editor that is able to connect with what you want. And the narcissist never, ever will. What book have you written that they've decided to edit? The book is your life. And your life is every day. And your life is all day. And if you have children, they are sharing that with you. Your experience, they're sharing that with you. Your pain, they're sharing that with you. Your tears, they are sharing that with you. Did you mean to give that away to something so young that cannot handle their emotions and they're trying to handle yours? Because if you stay with the editor, your adulthood start to leave and you start to act like the child because you are so broken down. The words are collapsing. It's chasmoclitic. What am I trying to say? There's so much chaos here. Sometimes I get tongue tied because of the letters and the experiences that you're having. And you say, I have kids, but you forget they are in your world. And if your world is chaotic as an adult, it is really traumatizing as a child. The script is being rewritten. The coder, the editor that decodes and recodes the system, you're being rekeyed until the former key won't work. You'll need the editor's key to work your door, the doorway of your mind. When the editor's key works, you are in trouble. Read. Pick up that book and read. Go online, get positive affirmation. Go to YouTube, go through all of my videos, listen to those videos over and over and over. Go to Dr. Carmen Bryant over and over and over. Associates Direct, Kim Saeed, over and over and over and over. Narc Survivor. Go to these different people and read over and over and over. Listen to it. Listen to everything that's going to build you. Listen to everything that's going to remind you of who you are. Go through original dockets. And the original dockets is go through those files in your mind that you pushed away, that have been drowned out through pain, that have been drowned out through torment. Pull those files back. Remember who you are. Mufasa told Simba, remember who you are. The editor has released files. None of them are true. He rewrote the script. None of it is true. It only sells in his world. Don't let it sell in yours. I am Helen Sadler. I am your destiny helper. Remember, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like and share the page. Push the bell every time I do a new video. Come on live. You will get an alert. I would love to do a live chat with you on my YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe so when I come on live, we can interact, we can integrate. And then what questions you have can be answered, and you will have a host of survivors. They are alive, they are strengthened, and I mean they are ready to pour into you life when it seemed life has been taken away. We shut down the editor, and I command you to rise up. Pull your original files, read, and keep on reading. And don't stop reading. Read in the bathroom. Put on an audio tape. Keep your brain working. Keep it working. Keep everything connected so you don't have gaps. Keep it connected. That takes discipline and that takes work. And you can do all of that because you are worth it. I'm Helen Sattler, your destiny helper. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. God bless you.